In the wake of the first COVID-19 related death locally, Grenadians been warned to take the virus seriously. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, January 5th, 2021, I am Rakisha St. Louis. Grenadians are being warned to take the COVID-19 seriously if we are to avoid any more deaths related to the virus. During the first post-cabinet press briefing for 2021, Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles said they have worked hard to prevent this, but Grenada is not immune to the virus. There are more than 84 million confirmed COVID-19 cases globally, and more than 1 million have died. In the Caribbean, as of January 4th, 2021, more than 300,000 cases were confirmed and 5,000 deaths. Dr. Charles made the clarion call for Grenadians to be more serious about COVID to prevent the further spread of the virus.
This is the day that we have been working so hard to prevent. This is the scenario that we have been working hard and educating the public that may occur. Grenada is not immune. We have worked hard to ensure that we remain safe. If we do not take COVID-19 seriously, it may happen again. This is not something that we welcome, but it is an outcome that the world has been dealing with since the start of this pandemic. I am asking the public once again to be serious about COVID-19. Stop the noise. We are not immune. We are not special. If we are not careful, we can have the same scenario repeat over and over again.
Government has appointed a committee which will examine all the details surrounding the first COVID-related death in the country. The committee comprises representatives from the public and private sectors, is chaired by former Chief Medical Officer Dr. George Mitchell. Combined, its members have years of experience in the healthcare industry.
The formation of the committee is principally and primarily to look at mechanisms and ways to ensure that as much as is practical, that we can put systems and mechanisms at play so that we can try and prevent more deaths related to COVID. And in general, I think the issue here is about putting systems in place, and I think the committee that has been announced is well placed to do just that. And when I looked at the cumulative or the amount of experience of the professionals that have been named, if my calculation is right, there is over 185 years of experience in that committee.
The Ministry of Health says healthcare providers will be among the first in Grenada to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles says once a decision is made on the type of vaccine Grenada will acquire through collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization and the World Health Organization, frontline workers will be given priority. Grenada has already signed on to the COVAX facility with PAHO and the WHO. Dr. Charles said the expansion of the priority group will depend on the quantity of vaccine the country can obtain.
Our plan addresses which of these vaccines that we have the capacity to deploy right now, and I can tell you at present we do not have the capacity to neither store or deploy the ultra cold chain, the vaccines that require ultra cold chain. That's those that require minus 80 degrees or so. In terms of the priority for vaccination, I believe I touched on that at a previous press conference, where because of our small health workforce, we need to protect them and to ensure that they are up and functioning and keep the system running. So our frontline workers, in particular our healthcare providers, will be our priority group for vaccination. Now, of course, there are persons who have underlying conditions. They are also high up in the priority for vaccination.
Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele says Grenada's focus will be on accelerating the process for acquiring the vaccine. He is confident that with the guidance of the WHO, Grenada can bypass all the logistical and health challenges and find the right vaccine.
One of those vaccines has already been certified by WHO. That one, which is the Pfizer-BioNTech, has challenges logistically, not just for us, but for even the very same first world nations that are implementing it. You will see in today's headlines that there are questions in terms of the rate of implementation. It is because it needs what is referred to as extreme cold chain. It has to be kept at minus 72 degrees throughout its process, getting it here as well as storing it here before distribution. So it poses challenges. We haven't ruled that out. We have addressed and looked at what we would need to do to deal with the Pfizer-BioNTech if that is the one that we end up going with. There are other vaccines like the AstraZeneca that do not require that level of cold chain, that level of minus 72, that have a level of storage and temperature-wise that we are accustomed dealing with, that we deal with right now with other vaccines and medications.
Minister Steele emphasized that all travelers arriving in Grenada, whether they were vaccinated overseas, are expected to quarantine at an approved facility on island. This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Are you gonna wear your mask today? You see everywhere you go, there are rules you got to follow, so don't you say COVID-19 will delay. Take the opportunity to save your community. Don't be that guy, put a mask on your face if you're heading outside. It's your life, my life, more lives will be taken if we don't try. If you feel any symptoms, call the hotline. Stay inside until you feel fine. 6 feet away every day. Keep COVID-19 far from away. Keep Grenada safe. Be COVID-19 smart.
Welcome back. China's new ambassador to Grenada, Wei Hongxian, has attributed the new chapter of friendship between both countries to the personal commitment and efforts of their leaders, which have helped to deepen political mutual trust. Presenting his credentials to Governor-General Dame Cecile Grenada on Tuesday, the new ambassador also hailed the partnership between both countries in the fights against COVID-19. He used the opportunity to assure of his willingness to further the diplomatic relations between Grenada and the People's Republic of China.
We are convinced that, building on the existing good foundation, this bilateral relationship will further grow in depth and strength. Your Excellency, I am greatly honored to be appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the People's Republic of China to Grenada, and at the same time humbled by the important responsibilities entrusted to me. During my tenure on this glorious post, I will exert my best efforts to further advance the relations between our two countries and the friendship between our two peoples. I am confident that in carrying out this important mission, I shall receive great support and assistance from Your Excellency and your government.
Governor General Her Excellency Dame Cécile la Grenade spoke to the support received from the People's Republic of China that has yielded successful results. These include the National and Athletic Stadium and the Chinese Low-Income Housing Project.
Your country's foreign aid program to developing nations of our region has been steadfast. We assure you that the concessionary loans, grants, technical support, human resource development opportunities, humanitarian and debt relief are greatly appreciated by our government and people. Your Excellency, Grenada will continue to work with the People's Republic of China in the multilateral fora on issues of mutual concern as we work towards deepening the relationship between our two governments and peoples. Your Excellency, Grenada is happy to welcome you, and we look forward to the further strengthening of the relationship between our two countries. Your Excellency, I congratulate you, and I look forward to working with you.
Finally, in the news, employees and self-employed persons who are contributors to the National Insurance Scheme, NIS, can claim for sickness benefits if they have been instructed by the health officials to quarantine or self-isolate. This announcement was made Tuesday by Public Relations Officer of the NIS, Lisa Douglas, during an interview on the GIS Spice Morning Show.
The National Insurance laws makes allowances for persons who are in contact or may deem to be a carrier of an infectious disease where they have to be quarantined, that in that situation they can claim. So in the case of COVID, if you are required to quarantine or you are required to self-isolate, in which case you are not required to see the doctor, you can still claim for a sickness benefit.
A new sickness benefit claim form has been designed specifically for this purpose. It can be downloaded from the NIS website or collected from any NIS office. If applying for the quarantine or self-isolation sickness benefit, employers can certify the sick leave period. Douglas explains what needs to be done when applying.
Ensure that they get the sickness benefit, the new sickness benefit claim form, the COVID-19 sickness benefit claim form. The employee would complete their section and they would get the form to the employer.
Right.
The employer completes their section and they would e-scan and email the form to us, or it can be submitted via our website.
Okay.
Yes, so they have that option. So in those two cases, a medical report from the doctor is not necessary. Now, if it's a case where the person has been diagnosed with COVID-19, in that case,
Then
they
you
need
a medical
certificate, in which case they would use the old sickness benefit claim form. The one where the doctor is required to complete their section, state your nature of illness, your sick leave period, because in that case, you have been diagnosed with COVID-19.
That story just ended the national report for today, Tuesday, January 5th. Let's recap the top story. In the wake of the first COVID-19 related death locally, Grenadians been warned to take the virus seriously. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.